In today's video, we're going to create this beautiful votive for flameless candles. I prefer to use the flameless candles. If you wanted to, I guess you could use a flame candle, but I prefer these simple flameless candles. And to me, this would make a really pretty centerpiece. With the holidays approaching and year round, you just need something that's an inexpensive thing to create that will be quick and easy, and you can create multiples, and I'll show you how in a moment. So let me go ahead and show you how to create this. You can create it in different colors and different sizes. The first step is to blow up a balloon, and you can blow up a balloon based on the size that you want your votive to be. And what I like to do is create my own liquid glue with regular glue and some water so that it's thin, and just put it in a bottle that's empty. So instead of constantly trying to mix up glue with water, you have it already pre-made. So this isn't going to be the regular glue. It's going to be glue with water, and I put a generous amount on a plate. And then you take the yarn that you want to use. I'm going to use this color yarn. And I'm going to put a generous amount of yarn. And the best part about this craft, I like to do it with the yarn first in the glue so that it can absorb a lot of that glue. I'm going to put a lot of yarn so that we can spin it around as much as possible. And you can determine how much yarn you use. I find that if you use less yarn, it doesn't hold together as much. So I think this is a generous amount of yarn. If I want, I can always add more yarn by knotting it, but I prefer to have enough yarn. And I'm going to put as much glue as possible. Let me just add some more glue. And while that's absorbing, I'm going to show you a little trick that I found. What I like to do is put some tissue paper on the balloon. Why I do that is I find that it comes off easier and you don't have as much glue on the yarn. I don't know why this trick works, but I've done it the other way, and I found that I just had so much glue on the votive that this way I have less glue. And what I'm doing is I'm sopping up a lot of that glue, and you see how much glue there is? To me, I find it's easier that way. So what I'm going to do is take the balloon, wrap it in tissue paper like this, and then put some glue on it. And it doesn't have to be precise. Like, one of the things about these crafts, I find that it's easier when it's not perfect, because you never really know what you're going to get. And part of that is how I find when I create something, I might have intended to be one way and then I get something different, and I'm so much happier with the different thing than I am what I originally intended it to be. So I find that this really helps. It makes it easier for it to be removed, because when you take off the, and I'll show you also how you can reuse the balloon so you're not constantly going out and getting more balloons and more material. So what we're doing is we're putting this glue onto the tissue paper and covering the balloon, which helps preserve the balloon. And then I'm taking the yarn. And if you're like me and you see how I didn't keep the ends out, it's pretty easy just to find the end. Okay, so what you'll do is, the first thing I'm going to do is wrap the beginning of the balloon with the tissue paper and the yarn. And why I'm doing it that way is so that I can keep the balloon and use it again for another project. And I'll show you another tip in one moment. Okay, so you're not going to tie it tight because this is going to be your starter. But you're going to take a bottle cap. I just colored it in just for the purpose of making it fun. And you're going to take this bottle cap and attach it to this beginning. And the reason you're doing this, you can pinch off the extra tissue paper, is because you want to reuse the balloon. So you're going to take this and twist it around, because what you don't want is for your yarn that you're putting on the balloon to cause you to have to pop the balloon. So you're going to just keep, and the reason you're using this with the tissue paper is so that the balloon is sort of protected. And I'll show you in a moment what I mean by that. Okay. So then you'll glue this down, and this will be your foundation. And you'll start wrapping the yarn around the balloon. And since you have such a generous amount of glue on the yarn, you don't have to keep stopping and starting and putting more glue on, which is an extra step that kind of makes it difficult. You know, part of why I like these little tips is because once you do a few of them, you begin to say, well, boy, this took a lot of extra time, and you don't want to take that extra time. So you see how quick and easy that is? You'll want more yarn, but for the purpose of this, I'll just demonstrate with this amount of yarn, but you'll definitely want to put more yarn. The more yarn you put on it, the sturdier your creation will be. So once you do that, you're going to have a balloon that's full. And let me show you how the size of the balloon I used for the original demonstration. This is it with the tissue paper. You notice how the balloon has the tissue paper, and all of that glue and tissue paper was not on the craft. So the balloon was pretty much protected by the tissue paper. So you could just easily peel the tissue paper off, and your balloon is intact to be used again for another project. So you can really make a lot of these. And since the balloon is made so that it can be wiped off, you just throw this out and you have the balloon, and you can reuse the balloon. The reason you're also putting this cap on is because then you can sit it on the cap. And as it dries, it's easier to sit. I find that that's just an easy, quick and easy tip to help keep the balloon upright. So you can use the cap as a stand, and also so that you can locate the top of the balloon and just undo your knot and deflate it. So let me just show you the project one more time. So here's the project one more time. And if it's not perfect, don't worry. Just tuck in any loose ends. And you see how pretty and delicate it is. I guess some people could use it as an ornament, but I think it's just so pretty on its own, just as a candle votive. So please like this video, subscribe for more videos, and don't forget to leave a comment if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.